kind of like weirded out.
Okay. Yeah, I would just. He's actually not in it at all. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Pass the portrait. Start with your facial expression. Pass the portrait. One more time.
Why'd you take
And please make me your focal point. Don't pass them yet. Very nice. Keep your portraits right where they are. Eyes on me. Scooch back just a little bit. Make me your focal point. Wow, that was excellent. I heard so many great descriptive words. I heard you going into detail about what they're wearing, into detail about the objects and the setting. I am so impressed with your observation skills that you're ready to go on to the next thing. So now what you're going to practice is something really similar to what you do in reading. So in reading all the time, I bet Miss Serio asks you to make inferences. Is that right? Inferences. Taking what the author tells you or what the pictures show you, taking information from your own mind or experience, and coming up with an idea, a thought, or a question. So that's making inferences. And so you're going to use these sentence stems now to make an inference about the picture. So some of you are already starting to formulate ideas about what the story is in the picture. But I'm going to ask you to root it in evidence, to give me evidence from the picture, what you see that makes you say that. Okay, so let's do a little bit of a practice here. Does anybody think or wonder something about this portrait? Does anybody have an idea about what this little girl is doing or who she is? You have an idea?
Can I go to the bathroom?
Absolutely. Tell me.
I think the girl is coming from school and she's going home.
She thinks the girl is coming from school and going home. What do you see that makes you say that?
That she is going inside, there's a bench and a flag.
Do you think that's the school or is that her home?
I mean the school.
So she's going to school. So she thinks that this little girl's going to school because she sees a bench and a flag, and those are things you also see at school. Do you see how she used that? I think because I see. Anybody else have a thought, an idea, or a question about this? Jaden?
Her family is moving to a new house because, like, it looks like she's carrying a little bit things at a time. When you first move in houses, you have to bring in all your clothes and stuff. It looks like she's bringing like her toys first.
Interesting. So Jaden thinks that she's moving into a new house because she sees that she's carrying some of her things with her into a building. Awesome. What else?
I think she moved to a different house, and she got moved to a different school, and she got her first day.
What makes you think that it's her first day at school? What do you see that makes you say that?
She looked afraid.
He's looking at her facial expression. She looks afraid. So that's why he thinks that she might be going to a new school. So we're going to do the same thing past the portrait. We have one more idea about this one.
I think she's gonna go to pray.
She's going to pray. What do you see that makes you say that?
Because it looks like she has to pray and she has a book.
It looks like it might be a Bible, because I see a Bible or a book that might be a Bible. Very nice. Do you think you can practice the same thing with the portraits that you have? We're going to pass these, so pass them. So you didn't get a chance to pass yet. With your new portrait, I want you to come up with an inference. What do you think, wonder, or feel, and what do you see that makes you say that? We'll share some of these out. Go ahead. What do you think? What do you think she's doing? She has a magical violin. What do you see that makes you say that? Because it's golden. It's magical to make. It makes it rain. Oh, I love that idea.
And she's off the ground and she's I'm sorry about this being abstract because so I think that this guy just walked away. No, I think it's a guy.
Why? What do you see that makes you say you might
I think
be walking?
this guy just robbed a bank because he got a bunch of money and looked at it downstairs. Somebody
Come up with an inference. Pass the portrait one more time. You should have a brand new portrait. What do you think about this one? What do you think or wonder about this portrait? What do you see that makes you say he got $1 million? What else? What do you think or wonder about this portrait? He robbed it.
I think she's the president's daughter coming from school.
And what do you see that makes you think he robbed?
I see
What does he have?
I'm gonna pass the money that I see
It looks like
All right, 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Please make me your focal point. Let me see your eyes. You can even touch your eyes and point to me so I know I have all of your beautiful eyes. You can't see your arms nice and free. Scooch back just a little more. I can't see Jade anymore. Did anybody have an inference that they wanted to share? You can pick any of the portraits that you've looked at. You want to use this one? Okay. I'll hold it up. Let's make them our focal point, please.
I think that she's the president's daughter.
What do you see that makes you say that?
Because there's guards right here.
Interesting. Anything else that might make you think it's the president's house or the president's daughter?
I think it's because I read about it in 2nd grade. There's a girl who went to school once, and then she made a difference. And there's this girl who wanted a teacher because the other teacher didn't want a teacher.
Do you remember her name? Does anyone remember her name? What is it?
Oh,
Oh yes. Wait one moment. Any other ideas about this? He thinks this might be a famous person from history, right? That went to a school and really made a difference. Does anybody remember her name?
it starts with a B.
Close. It's Ruby Bridges, right? So why do we think this might be Ruby Bridges?
because nothing but people right there. Like they surprised.
They're surprised. What might those people be doing outside?
They're all white. And I remember it. It's like they're just doing this thing and not wanting her to go to that school.
Right. So back in the day, right? African American and white people were separated. So Ruby Bridges went to a school that was all white and made a difference so that everyone could be together. And we think this might be Ruby Bridges because we see lots of white people outside, right, protesting of the same time period. So she would like kind of help Dr. Martin Luther King.
Wait. So when I forgot her name, but she had No, not her. It was, I forgot her name, but she had got in trouble for sitting in the back of the bus.
Yes. So as you can see, portraits are great for sparking conversation about history, Black history. It's wonderful. Okay, so anybody else want to share about another portrait? Thank you so much for your ideas. Jaden, want to hold that up, or I'll hold it up for you?
Well, at first we thought it was a real one, but until we saw the picture on the side, we was thinking that it's fake, and it like comes all the way out, and they made it on the wall. But then at first,
So what do you think or wonder about it?
like, we were wondering. I wonder if it's real or not.
If it's real, what else do you wonder? Do you wonder something about this boy and the
Like
older man?
he likes instruments.
You wonder if he likes instruments because you see what?
Yeah, like trying to play it.
Trying to play an imaginary instrument. Interesting. So maybe he wants to learn. What do you think or wonder?
I wonder that if the picture behind the little boy is him when he grows up.
I wonder if the picture behind the little boy is him when he grows up. What do you see that makes you say that, makes you wonder that?
Because he looks the same, like he has the same hair and kind of like the same
His facial expression. Really nice. So teachers, these are great for like bell work, quick bell work in the morning. They can grab a portrait and write some inferences about them. What's the story? And really rooted in evidence, right? What do I see that makes me say that? Giving them these sentence stems are really, really helpful. Thank you so much for your participation today. You can just kind of push the portraits forward into the center of the circle. Sit back on your bottoms. I just want to reflect with you for a moment. So today we got to look, think, and talk about portraits. We got to make observations based on what we see in their facial expression, focal point, gesture, clothing, setting, and objects. From those observations, you made inferences. You came up with stories based on what you saw. You got to think, wonder, and feel different things, and then provide evidence from the images to help back up what you saw, or what you think, rather. You also define what a portrait is. A picture, an image, a sculpture of a person or multiple people. That could be paintings, drawings, or sculptures. And so I hope you continue to use this strategy, continue to look and observe these different things as you notice